In this lesson, we'll be adding bounce to the buildings as they fall to the ground. Okay, so in our last lesson, we got those buildings to hit the ground. Now we want to give them a little bit of a rattle, just as our piece of pizza has. Okay, so to do that, let's go in here, and I still have all of these without any kind of stagger, which will probably be changing here in a little bit. But let's go ahead and just move forward about one frame. And what we'll want to do is rotate these back up in the X rotation. So let's just select all those pink layers. And I'm just going to hit the U key twice to kind of just make it a little more streamlined here. And with all of them selected, let's come back in and just rotate them up slightly like this. So I went from 119 to 109. So let's go forward another frame and be back to 119. Back down to the ground, just like we did with the pizza. And if we're going from 119 to 109, 109 being the higher value, then we want to get closer to 119, halfway between that. Let's see what that would be. So 119 minus 109 is 10. So that was 10 the first time. Now, if we want to divide that in two, that's going to be 5. So 109 plus 5. 114. So that'll be our next number. We'll go forward one more frame and go up to 114. And it looks like it only put that key on that top one. So let's get the rest of those selected and add 114 to those as well. Then we'll go forward another frame and we'll change it back up to 119 again. And then we'll do 114 plus half of 5, which is going to be 2.5. So 114 plus 2.5 is 116.5. Let's just round it up to 117. So we'll go forward one more frame. Make sure you have all those pink layers selected. And we'll put in a 117. And then we'll go forward one more frame and end it on 119. Great. So it's not quite as much rattling and follow through as we had on the pizza, but I think that it's still going to look pretty good. So let's just see what happens. And I'm also going to turn all of these keys to easy ease because it's going to make it look a lot more realistic. So grab all the pink keys and we'll go up to animation, keyframe assistant, easy ease. And then I'll just hit the 0 key. Okay, so that really helped quite a bit. But the thing that I want to do now is actually go in and stagger these a little bit because they're all happening at exactly the same time. So what I would do is just come in and grab some of these and just pull them forward 1 or 2 frames, or maybe even backwards a frame. And I'm only focusing on the pink ones. Because those are the ones that have all that animation on them. Okay, so now what I'll do is grab all of the pink layers and just drag that extension backwards so that we don't have anything not being visible at the beginning because we did that stagger. So let's see if this looks okay, and if it looks a little bit off, we can always change it. Okay, so one of them, the most obvious building, that super tall one, is staying up there for way too long. So let's figure out, that's going to be this one right here. Or actually, let's come down a little farther. This one needs to go back a bit. This one right here definitely needs to be pulled back. Okay, so let's watch that all the way through and see how it looks. Great. So just with that little bit of stagger, even in these in-between frames, if it looks a little bit strange, whenever it's going full speed, it really feels a lot more authentic by not having those all come at the same time. Okay, it really feels like more of a splat. So let's come back in our next lesson, and we're going to come back to that little flag. So we had this little flag that we created, and it was part of the logo, but we haven't really used it yet. So let's come back in the next lesson, and we're going to animate that to kind of drop in on top of the piece of pizza.